Due to the recent rise of a criminal organization led by the evil and sinister Mr. X, you, an ex-cop, and your two friends, also ex-cops, take it into your own hands to bring down the organization and restore the city to its former glory. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm talking about Streets of Rage, or more specifically, Streets of Rage 1. Join me as I take a look at the first game in the greatest beat-em-up franchise ever made. Ever. Streets of Rage was the first game I played that you would classify under the topic of mature gaming, though the game itself is unrated. For the first time, you weren't fighting the evil creations of the Dr. Robotnik, or racing against other bikes in Super Hang-On. No, you were beating the living out of street thugs, and there is nothing to tell you otherwise. Streets of Rage was different. It was early 90s, it was edgy, it was difficult, it was 16-bit, and it was in your face, and I loved it. The game has 8 levels, or rounds as they are called, and those 8 rounds will keep you playing for a long time. The game, even on the easiest difficulty, will give you a run for your money. Again, that's what I like about those old games. They're not afraid to give you a challenge. I remember how happy I was the first time I beat the game, and how long it took me to do it as well. So what's next? After normally playing the game so many times, does it ever get old? No, not in the slightest. There's so many things you can do. Go for the highest score, go for the most enemies, play with a friend, speedrun it, play as a different character, play on the highest difficulty, the list goes on. I think you get my point. When you first start the game, you learn 3 things. C is jump, B is punch, and A lets hell onto your enemies, where miraculously, you somehow manage to survive and continue fighting. In other words, A is the last resort, to get that last hit in on a boss without risking a life or anything like that. Genesis games, or Sega games in general, had that ability still not found in many other games to really set the mood, or make it feel as if you were in the game. When you punch an enemy, it really feels like it hurts him or her, and you feel the punch. When an enemy punches you, you feel as if you've been hurt, not your character. Through sound effects, environmental design, and music, you feel as if you're part of the game. You don't feel like you're controlling Axel, Blaze, or Adam. You feel like you are Axel, Blaze, or Adam. You don't feel like Mr. X is after your character. You feel like Mr. X is after you. All this being said, this is the first game in the Streets of Rage franchise. It still has some kinks, all of which will be worked out by the second game. Enemies sometimes have a tendency to gang up on you when there are many of them on screen, and take a lot of damage without you being able to do anything about it. This doesn't happen often though, and when it does, you can usually resolve the issue quickly. The graphics are very colorful, the characters are very distinguishable, and the bosses are larger than the other sprites, and very, very menacing. They have attack patterns that are easy to learn but very difficult to master, as any good game would. The game puts up a fight, difficulty-wise, and the music, well, you can find out for yourself. The controls are also very good in this game, a step up from things you would find prior. When you press attack, you instantly attack on screen. When you press a direction, there is no delay. You move instantly. The characters are all balanced and well-rounded fighters, with Adam being more power than speed, and Blaze being more speed than power. Axel is a balance between both speed and power. He's neither the strongest nor the fastest, but that being said, he's neither the weakest nor the slowest. If you're looking for a fun game to pass the time, look no further than Streets of Rage. You can find this game everywhere, from Steam to the 3DS, the Wii, PlayStation brand, Xbox, Genesis, Master System, you name it. Do yourself a favor and pick this up. It's well worth the purchase and you won't regret it. Before I end this video, I'd like to give a shout out to Martin, who I know mostly because he sits in front of me in social studies class itching his balls the whole period, and John, who's John. Anyway, that wraps off this video. Like it if you liked it, like it if you didn't like it, and be sure to smash that subscribe button to show your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.